What's going on, everyone? The Bad Habits, aka TBH here. Welcome to the shit show. I mean Catwoman. Catwoman. Try that again. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Welcome to episode 2. Thank you, everyone, to making... I really want to... Very quickly, I want to say thank you to everyone who showed up for episode 1 of the shit show based on Madam Web. Thank you once again. I really made an interesting choice to start that series during Black History Month. Long story short, I saw Madam Web, and as of this recording, I've yet to see Bob Marley. I'm slacking, y'all. And I say that because as of this recording, March 1st, it is now Women's History Month. So please understand, I do not have an anti-female agenda. I'm not doing this on purpose. A little backstory about myself. I am a huge fan of shitty movies. This is a movie we used to have in the household when I was a kid. You know, we had it on DVD. I believe we got it from the now defunct Hollywood Video. If any of you remember that. I gotta say, even as a kid, I knew this was a turd, but, you know, I watched it here and there. You know, it came out when I was about 10 years old, so, you know, hey, there was some exploration done to this film, I'm sure, back in the day. Puberty, you know? This movie stars Halle Berry as Patience Phillips. Yes, she has one of those literary names. Not Selena Kyle. They're very specific about that. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, of course, but this isn't in Gotham City either. So it's a bunch of deviations. This is just a Catwoman, if you will. What did Will Smith say? Or some kind of Catwoman? Yeah. But if I'm being honest with you, I've really grown to appreciate this movie, especially from Halle Berry, y'all. Okay, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember a lot of movies she's starring in, where she's the fucking headliner. But, you know, she really took this one on the chin, okay? You know, she showed up to the Razzies with her Oscar in hand and gave a fake crying speech. It was awesome. So, you know, at the very least, this movie will live on for that.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know what the fuck was going on in the early 2000s, but we were just inundated with this hyper, just crazy edit style. I'm looking back at a bunch of movies I watched growing up, and now they're all edited like a middling Saw movie. And most of this movie has not aged well at all. But there are some benefits there. You know, there's some you know, empowering moments. Very few and far between, but it exists at the very least. So with this episode, actually with this series, the shit show, I'm going to be talking about movies that I really hate and movies that I actually enjoy. For example, Samurai Cop. This is not a good movie, but I had such a great fucking time watching it. This is getting an episode. I'm thinking for the holiday season, we're going to do Jack Frost 2. That's a fucking classic for me. So, yeah, just for example. But enough about that. Let's get into the plot of Catwoman. Whew. And now we can officially start the shit show. Catwoman, 2004. The plot centers on Patience Phillips, a meek graphic designer who discovers a conspiracy within the cosmetic company she works for that involves a dangerous product that could cause widespread health problems. After being discovered and murdered by the conspirators, Patient is revived by an Egyptian Mile cat that grants her superhuman cat-like abilities, allowing her to become the crime-fighting superheroine. Catwoman. Catwoman. Doesn't really work, but yeah. Our main character, Patience Phillips, is she's one of those ugly, beautiful people. You know what I mean? In the late 90s and early 2000s, this was the most common trope, in my opinion. One of the most, at least. You know, She's All That, for example. It was just like, take a really pretty person and we'll put some glasses on them and an ugly sweater and call it a fucking day. She is written to be like one of the most shitty, undesirable, nerdy types. It's bad, y'all. You know, it's amazing she's lived as long as she has. You know, she's very stiff and just, you know, not cat-like. So, you know, of course, once she goes through her transformation phase, it's supposed to make all the difference. And I don't know if this is a Halle Berry choice or a director's choice. I don't know, but it's not working. You know, maybe 20 years ago, for little 10-year-old me who was just excited to see what was saw, puberty, you know? But yeah, nowadays, I gotta say, it's not hot. I'll take Patience over Catwoman at this point. You know, you might, you know, stub your toe or get poked in the eye or something with Patience, but Catwoman's too much.
Looking back on it now, dying was the best thing that ever happened to me.
This might be a little counterintuitive to this series and, you know, the shit I'm going to discuss today, but I kind of miss this era in superhero movies. Now, I know we were bombarded with, you know, the Daredevils, Electras. While many people remember, you know, those and, you know, like the 2003 Hulk movie, we were also, you know, given shit like Blade 2, Spider-Man 1 and 2, even 3 to an extent. You know, there were some good ones in there, let's be clear. Hell, I even had fun with the 2005 Fantastic Four. I don't remember the sequel that well, except for not really liking it, but whatever. The first one, I had fun. Maybe I'll revisit that next year when it turns 20. Sorry, I went off the rails there. So Patience works for this cosmetic company called Bioline. And, you know, she has a shitty boss, overbearing, of course. Makes her work these incredibly weird long days and hours. For example, at one point, she has to deliver these graphic designs by midnight. But it's like in the backside of a distribution center, not the office that she works in. I don't know. It gets convoluted there. But, you know, it's one of those movies where, you know, she is bound by her job and her you know, pointless existence, and, you know, basically she's dead already. So once she actually does die and she gets revived by cat breath or something like that, I don't know, some type of magical mystical shit.
I don't know shit about fuck.
And that's when you get her, you know, with like on the motorcycles and with the Karen cut. Overall, just being a fucking weirdo.
You on drugs?
Yeah, her boss is a piece of shit, you know, douchebag rich guy who doesn't give a fuck about anything but money. He's played by the Merovingian in, you know, the Matrix sequels. That guy. And he's married to Sharon Stone, who plays Laurel. Okay, I'm gonna probably get a little flack for this one, but she's probably my favorite one in the movie. Yep. It's not a good performance necessarily, but I think she knows that and she understands the camp of it all, and she's really, in my opinion, kind of leaning into it just a little bit, you know, at least at one point where she has a heel turn. Yeah, spoiler alert. The first half of the movie, she's a little more subdued and held back, but once the restraints are off, you know, it kind of worked for me, I gotta say. Next up, we have Benjamin Bratt, who plays Tom Lone, who I may or may not refer to by his nickname within the film. Man Meat? Sandwich Man?
Hey, man sandwich.
Yeah, forgive me. I may refer to him as that or Cop Guy. I remember him being sort of like the saving grace to this film. Boy, I was fucking wrong.
Well, my first reaction was, what?
This is not blood in, blood out Benjamin Bratt, okay? This is closer to Miss Congeniality. we're just gonna fast forward a little bit and get to the juicy part. So Patience gets killed because she is trying to deliver this late night assignment to her boss. She ends up walking into the wrong place at the wrong time, overhearing some dirty fucking secrets that the company's doing, you know, willingly and knowingly. So they kill her. And then cut to cat breath, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. She's got powers. Yeah, okay. She encounters a bunch of ridiculously loud and obvious jewel thieves. I mean, she heard them breaking glass from the street and the lights are on. They're fucking terrible. So she decides to intervene, and god damn, y'all, this scene is a treat. Yeah, this is trash, but it's delicious. Okay? Yeah, I know what the fuck I said.
You boys thought you could come in here and steal all these beautiful things? What a perfect idea.
And then after the fucking fight, she ends up returning the jewelry that they stole, or that she stole from them. You know, she brings cupcakes. Hey, you know, everyone wins, okay? At this point, Patience has some questions, so she has to go to her guru, the, you know, magic cat lady. They explain the backstory behind Catwoman, and in one of the photos, I will say this is a nice little nod here. They include Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman from Batman Returns. That's a nice nod. It really would have been nice to get, you know, like Eartha Kitt in there as well. Yeah, it's really cool that they included Michelle Pfeiffer. But they stole her origin story with this film. And if that's the point behind it, it's just like they kind of did it better, you know, what, 12 years prior. So that's beyond me, y'all. Next up, I have the suit reveal. You know, the one you'll never forget due to that fucking helmet on her head. None of this is, you know, tactical at all. But this, what the fuck? It's supposed to be a big moment, but it's offset by, hell, just the way she walks. Patience Phillips is fine, y'all, until she tries to be. I haven't talked much about Man Meat, you know, Tom Lone. Patience and Man Meat are seeing each other, you know, socially. And of course, you know, with him being a cop, her being a vigilante, you know, naturally they cross paths. She really reveals herself when they're on a date during a carnival. Yeah, it's this little rinky-dink carnival in, you know, not Gotham City. Long story short, they're on the Ferris wheel and shit goes crazy. Of course, help people. You know, of course, I understand wanting to help a kid, but she really made it obvious. We're going to pause. Let's say you're a cop, okay? You're a detective investigating Catwoman. They have a mask on that really doesn't hide a lot of their details. How in the fuck do you not recognize your own partner? I mean, come on, y'all. Teeth, skin, body type, voice. She didn't hide any of those things. God damn, he's stupid. But whatever, the relationship continues until after a cheesy, like late BET After Dark love-making scene, complete with the music and all. He walks around her apartment while she sleeps, and he steps on a little diamond claw from her suit. Gee, Patience, have you lost a diamond claw recently? You should check for that. Now, I mentioned earlier that Sharon Stone's character, Laurel, gets interesting in the second half. That is because, honestly, the plotline really kind of revolves around her. Turns out she's our main antagonist of the film. You know, it turns out dude is just the face, but she's the brains and beauty behind it all. And this is based around her vanity, if you will. Long story short, she turned 40. And in the modeling world, that means you're fucking ancient old. So, you know, she has to step down and she's being replaced by this newer, younger, seemingly created by AI person. But it turns out she's real. But, you know, we weren't convinced at first. So her and her husband's company, they create this cosmetic cream that, well, when you use it, it hardens the skin like diamond. But when you stop using it, it scars you and, you know, long story short, it fucks you up. You don't want this. Yeah, I know, some old cartoony bullshit. But it's fun. It's a comic book movie, whatever. I found it hilarious early on in the beginning. After Laurel decides to step down, she walks into the building. As she's walking in, her husband sort of just stops her, and it always cracks me up. It's really great comedic timing, you know. I feel like they could have had this meeting anywhere else, but because he's such a dick, he wanted her to see this and just fucking twist the knife. So yeah, it's mean as fuck, but I had a good time with it. Watching this movie after recently rewatching, TASM 2, if you know, you know. I feel like this is where Jamie Foxx based his performance off of. You know, when he played Max Dillon, Electro, his original performance in that film, I feel like this was his prototype character. It's remarkable how close it is, except for he just decided to go too zany with it. You know, fucking singing happy birthday to himself and shit. But that's not a good thing. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, because Jamie Foxx is one of the GOATs, but let me tell you straight up, this movie is very magical, mystical. As I mentioned, Patience dies and then gets revived by, you know, some type of magical cat breath. But yeah, so that immediately tells you that there's going to be a crazy cat lady in this film. I hate to break it to you, she's kind of the least crazy one in the film. Not by much, but just enough for me to notice that I kind of get where she's coming from.
I'm sure the polygraph was going like this, like the bitch is lying, she's lying.
The fuck is going, where am I? Did I mention Patient Phillips has 2 sidekick friends who were written out of the movie within the first hour? There's this one really bad gay stereotype guy. You know the type. You know, let's pull him up right quickly. Take a look at that shot right there. Immediately, you know 2 things. 1, he's gay. 2, his name's Bradley. I don't even know what his character's name was, because it doesn't matter. He gets written out first. He's only in a couple office scenes. And then you got Peter Griffin's wife, played by Alex Borstein. She needs to be written the fuck out of this movie, which gladly they do later on, but oh man. Put your earmuffs on, y'all. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Homegirl just needs some dick, y'all. Okay, that's what it is. She just wants to fuck any dude. She just wants to fuck.
Let me in, I'm trying to fuck.
Let me in, I'm trying to fuck. Overall, she has no fucking place. Neither does Bradley. Get him the fuck out of here. I will say one of the things that is just burned into my memory is the iconic basketball scene, y'all. This is equivalent to the 2003 Daredevil film where Ben Affleck and Jennifer Gardner, you know, play fighting in the park. This is one of those scenes I will just never fucking forget. I really just couldn't stop laughing at it. It's iconic. It's not a good iconic, but it brings me so much joy. Maybe it's a little too sexual for a bunch of kids to be watching this, but I couldn't stop laughing nonetheless. And overall, the biggest con is the editing of this film. Throughout most of the shots, you get lost because they cannot keep up. They'll constantly cut left, right, flip, flop. Even when this film was made, I just don't understand how this was passable. The fuck were you doing, Petoff? Yeah, I'm just gonna fast forward a little bit. So Patience gets taken into custody. She's being interrogated by her love interest. He's the one behind the investigation. Blah 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 blah. She escapes custody. She escaped so goddamn easily. Let me tell you that. Not that she needed to, really, because, she's obviously innocent.
How, in the name of Zeus's butthole, did you get out of your cell?
Laurel, she, besides the bullet, she hits him with a pretty powerful line. It's very simple, and, it might be cringe-worthy to some. The quote is very simple. I'm a woman. I'm used to doing things I don't like to do. I don't side with her, but there's some truth behind that. Next up, I'm going to talk about the final fight scene. This is between Catwoman and Laurel. I stated earlier that editing is one of the biggest issues with this film. They did not save their best work for the end. This is where it really gets fucking bad. I mean, it's so goddamn choppy. Sometimes there would be multiple cuts per second. Hey, there's a pro though. Catwoman's getting her ass kicked by empowered Laurel. That's her new name now at this point, because she is fucking rock hard. Don't you dare take that out of context. Her skin is rock hard due to the product that her and her husband created. She ends up kind of kicking Catwoman's ass for a little second there. Things are looking bad, and she says, it's overtime. Once that happens, the ass kicking really begins. Not that you can see it, because it's still edited to shit. But, hey, good for her. And all of this really just built up to one of the best goddamn dummy falls in history, okay? Now, there's a lot. I don't need to get into. So many iconic scenes come to mind of people, or in this case, dummies, just falling and flipping around. I love a good bad dummy, okay? This one is one of the fucking best ones, because it looked like they had to do a... I mean, because it starts out, she's just... and then... I almost shit myself.
Why the fuck would that happen?
So, the bad guys are dead. Good guys are okay. And they're a little hurt, but they're going to be all right. Patience she's just starting her story. Yeah, this movie right here had the goddamn nerve, the gall, if you will, to pull one of those, this is only the beginning. Bullshit, this is the goddamn end.
What? No.
Or is it? It's been 20 years, or it's about to be as of this recording. Fuck it, do a sequel now, but lean into that shit. Fuck it, I'm in at this point. I'm all for schlock. I'm all for big cheese, if you will. So, whatever. Hell, pitch it to Netflix, okay? They just about do anything, okay? Try it. Fuck it. On my normal scale here, I'm going to give it a rating of stream it. Yeah, it's a bad movie, y'all. But, I like me some schlock, and this is full of it. It made me laugh. I didn't feel like I wasted my time, unlike Madam Web. When it comes to the fuckery scale between high class and low brow, I'm going to stick with high class on this one. I bought this movie because I wanted to watch it. And yeah, no, it's worth it to me. I like having this in my shit movie collection. It's a gem. With that being said, that's it for me, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 2 of The Shit Show. I'm the Bad Habits, a.k.a. TBH, y'all. And I'm signing out. Deuces.